Good morning, my fellow yoga travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Don't forget to labor, laugh, loaf, loofah, yeah, and lube occasionally. You gotta grease up the skin with some oil and stuff like that. Okay. Oh, give me the chocolate and nobody gets hurt. You know, the Gabby Guru. Yeah, the magic power of words have been co-opted by advertising, misinformation, disinformation, and yet the mantric power of words hasn't been lost. Just seems to have like slipped away from our awareness. Our job is to make sure we understand how to use it well. Now, Albert Einstein says the intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We've created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. So we can have faith in the rational intellect, but when it gets to the point of deconstructionism, pull all the petals off the rose, you don't got anything. You have to be able to not only create an analysis, but there has to be a synthesis. Anyway, this is the trickster energy within ourselves. This is the part that sees through bullshit. It's like an acid test, right? And so there's nothing left to revere if you see through everything. But it's important to have this bullshit indicator, you could say, working for you, because an elder doesn't have to align with other people's false values. They're too old to pretend that they don't understand there's a pink elephant in the room where the emperor has no clothes. You're beyond that. Now, Carl Jung has a great, interesting statement that it's the encounter with the numinous, the religious, the spiritual, the magical, the holy, the divine, the sacred, the otherworldly, the unearthly, the transcendent, the mysterious. His quote is, "The main interest in my work is not concerned with the treatment of neurosis, but rather with the approach to the numinous. The fact is that the approach to the numinous is the real therapy. Something got to shake you out of the same old, same old." And that's why we go questing for this. And the stories remind us, they're like the two wills. One is a pack animal, one is a loner. One's aggressive, one works for the good of the whole. And when the grandchild asks the grandfather, well, which one is stronger? He says, whichever one you feed. So what are you doing with your energy? Peaceful or aggressive? Now, these are two people as reminders. You have to find your own. Michael Mead, the mythologist drummer, Clarissa Pinkola Estes, Jungian therapist and old contador. They're the keepers of the old way. They keep the stories reminding us that our ancestors wrestled with this and they're trying to give us clues to help us. So my job always has been to educate, to prevent educational neglect, to save these things from death by neglect. They're there, but you got to utilize them. Right? Even my teacher says the body's underutilized capital. We don't take care of the treasure that's there. Well, here's a good one. Do you have one with a bigger back burner? There's a lot of stuff I can't deal with right now. Yeah, well, shoving things to the back burner is alive and well in everybody's life. Literalism banishes beauty to the back burner. You have to learn to think metaphorically, poetically, mythologically, archetypally, spiritually, psychologically. Then you get the message. So mythology is a kind of guidance, right? It's like the old way of looking at the Marvel heroes. I love this quote from James Hillman: mythology was the psychology of antiquity, and psychology is the mythology of modernity. And when you understand mythology, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes, mythology is an artful arrangement of lives that tells the truth. Totally false on the outside, completely true on the inside. Mythology talks about everything that always was, always is, and always shall be, because it's not about being in time. Now, joy impregnates, but sorrow brings forth. And it's in the broken heart was where we meet as well. So take your broken heart and make it into art. This is how the poignancy of your own predicament becomes something you could share with other people and bring forth your inner life for people to see. If it's purely subjective, it's puerile. But somehow, if it's tapping into the universality of the human experience, then however your life is diverse compared to anybody else, it still taps into that wellspring that's us. Blake's wonderful poem on his baptismal fount: when first I held the cup of woe, it was too hot, I let it go. And then when it came round again, it seemed too deep for me to drain. But when at last I learned to sip, the cup was seldom from my lip. For grieving feast meal I have found traces of angels on the ground. Nobody wants to hold the cup of woe. When it comes your way, you want to get rid of it as quick as you can, but it keeps coming back again. When you peer into the abyss, who wants to jump into that? But if you just take suffering as it comes, sip by sip, whenever it appears in your life, then it's seldom away from you, but you're embracing it, integrating it, and then each piece that you deal with has an angelic quality or a redeeming quality, you could say, or brings out some of the best things that you're capable of when you struggle with your own suffering and have compassion for other people's suffering. Now, I love this idea. You find a practice, whatever it is, and you never master it. How can you master infinity, right? But it suits you. And so you go back and forth to it again and again. It brings you joy and it challenges you. Then you know you found your path. And then I love this idea. Idealizing life is surely quite unrealistic. However, it's much better than living in constant despair. And I always ask my rabbi, is evil stronger than good? And he says, no, good is stronger, but not by much. So get this line, it's a real beautiful one. Evil is stronger than naive optimism, but it is not stronger than optimism without naivete. So I hope that you all understand you have an elder function in you right away. It has nothing to do with your chronological age. The elder doesn't give you dogma. The elder strikes the right chord in you. It helps you change your mind, change your heart, change your life. They model for you fields of visibility, not just certitude of doctrine. And then what happens is then you get a new collective perception of what healthy aging and longevity is all about. We got to stick together and take the wisdom that life experience gives us and pass it on to the next generation. And overcome this word called pseudo-speciation, the reduction of alien societies to the states of inferior species, not fully human, who can be degraded without conscience. So that's what we've done to other people, but remember there's only one home, earth, one family, human beings. Find your way to be an elder and share the beauty of that. All right, my friends, that's it for today. I just want to say that I have a 3-week series coming up at Total Body Yoga in Mundelein. Go to my website, gabrielhalpern.com, and check it out July 11th, July 18th, and July 25th from 11 to 1:30. It's a trifecta weekend on Kriya Yoga covering the subjects of tapas, swadhyaya, and ishvara pranidhan, which means how do you do intense practice, how do you be studious and apply yourself, and then how do you surrender all of your gifts to the divine beloved in your life. Have a great day.